The city of Hollow Earth trembled long before anyone saw the giants arriving. Deep beneath the planet's crust, where glowing rivers of molten light flowed like veins of a living organism, the air itself felt charged, as if the world was holding its breath. Ancient walls carved by civilizations long extinct shivered with the distant echo of battle drums. Tonight was the night destiny had chosen. Far above, on the surface world, humanity believed the Age of Titans was finally stabilizing. After the catastrophic events of previous years, Godzilla had retreated into the ocean, choosing isolation over domination. Kong had claimed Hollow Earth as his rightful territory, becoming a reluctant king of a realm filled with prehistoric wonders and dangers. But peace in such a world is fragile, always one roar away from collapse. Chapter 1. Don Tobol's Warning. Don Tobol was not a fighter, not a king, and certainly not a titan. He was a researcher, though some preferred to call him a titan listener. Using experimental resonance technology, he decoded the infrasonic vibrations titans produced, essentially turning their roars into language. For years, governments considered his work fringe science. But everything changed when the recordings started to show patterns, warnings, and pleas on a storm-lashed evening. Don Tobol stood on top of the Monarch observation spire. His headphones vibrated with a repeating frequency he had never heard before, a titan calling for help. A titan. Afraid, he froze. This can't be Godzilla. The pitch is different. And Kong doesn't call like this, he whispered to himself. The signal grew louder, deeper, angrier. He ran to the console and activated the Hollow Earth mapper. Red pulses spiked across the screen. Something was waking up. Something older than both Godzilla and Kong. Tobol's heart pounded. He spoke into the emergency broadcaster. Monarch command. This is Don Tobol. We have a breach signal in Hollow Earth. Level Omega. Repeat Omega. We must warn Kong immediately. Whatever's coming, he can't face it alone. But he had no idea how true those words were. Chapter 2. The Tremor King in the glowing forests of Hollow Earth. Kong felt the vibration before he heard it. Birds scattered. Ground fissures crawled outward like living scars. Kong gripped his battle axe, its edge forged from Godzilla's dorsal scale, and growled from. The shadows emerged a titan larger than any Kong had ever encountered. Creature of stone and fury, covered in jagged volcanic plates, eyes burning like magma. The Tremor King ancient murals had spoken of. Him, the first ruler of Hollow Earth. Cast into the abyss by Godzilla's ancestors. His return was prophecy and doom. The Tremor King roared, and the entire cavern shook like a world cracking apart. Kong responded with a roar of defiance. Their clash was immediate and earth-shattering. Kong swung his axe, sparks blasting off the creature's stone armor. The Tremor King slammed a molten fist into Kong's chest, sending him crashing through a mountain-like pillar. Kong staggered up, blood dripping from his lip. His breath heavy, he realized something chilling. The Tremor King wasn't here to fight. He was here to conquer. Behind him, a legion of stone-armored beasts rose from the lava pools. His army, a new empire. Kong was alone, and he was losing. Chapter 3. Godzilla rises on the surface. Don Tobol watched seismic readings spiking off the charts. He turned to his assistant, Misha, panic in his voice. If Kong falls, Hollow Earth collapses. And then the surface world is next. Before Misha could respond, the sea horizon glowed blue. The ocean exploded upward as Godzilla erupted from the depths, his dorsal plates blazing with nuclear energy. He roared, a sound that shook ships miles away and made the sky quiver. Don Tobol's equipment translated the infrasonic message, Kong. In danger, Godzilla dove back beneath the waves, streaking toward Hollow Earth's entrance tunnels. The king was answering the call. Chapter 4. The fall of Hollow Earth. Kong fought valiantly, but the Tremor King overwhelmed him. With a brutal strike, the molten titan pinned Kong beneath his colossal foot. The ground melted around them. The Tremor King raised his fist, ready to crush the last of the Kong lineage. The cavern filled with a blinding blue glow. A beam of atomic breath blasted into the Tremor King's flank, hurling him across the chamber. Godzilla emerged, towering, roaring with ancient authority. The two kings, one of surface, one of hollow earth, stood side by side once more. Kong grunted at Godzilla. Godzilla rumbled back. Their uneasy alliance strengthened. Tonight, there was no rivalry, only survival. Chapter 5. The War for the New Empire. The Tremor King roared commands, and his army charged. Godzilla unleashed atomic beams, vaporizing swarms. Kong smashed creatures with his glowing axe, sparks lighting the battlefield. The Tremor King charged Godzilla. Slamming him into a cliff face, Kong leapt onto the Titan's back, hacking at the stone armor. The Tremor King unleashed a molten shockwave, throwing both Titans aside. Then came the moment Don Tobal had feared. The Tremor King absorbed the energy around him. Growing hotter, brighter, stronger, he was becoming a walking eruption. Godzilla staggered, exhaustion creeping in. Kong's axe dimmed. Their strength was fading. Don Tobal, watching through the Monarch drones, whispered, "This is it. We're witnessing the end of two kings." But the Titans were not done. Chapter 6. The last roar Godzilla looked at Kong. Kong nodded back. Their unspoken pact was clear. Godzilla channeled all remaining energy into Kong's axe, charging it with a blinding nuclear surge. The axe glowed blue-white, humming like a star. Kong roared and sprinted forward. The Tremor King lunged at him. Their clash erupted in a shockwave that shattered mountains. Kong leapt high, raised the charged axe, and drove it straight into the Tremor King's molten core. The Titan's body erupted in a volcanic explosion of light and fire. Kong was thrown back. Godzilla shielded him with his massive body as debris rained down. When the smoke finally cleared, the Tremor King was nothing but a collapsed mountain of cooling magma. The new empire was defeated. Silence filled hollow earth. Chapter 7. Brothers in victory, Kong lay wounded but alive. Godzilla approached him. For a moment, the two stared at one another, the survivors of endless wars. The last titans of rival dynasties, Kong grunted with pride. Godzilla gave a slow, respectful nod. They were no longer adversaries. They were protectors, brothers of battle. Don Tobal's final translation echoed softly in his headphones. Tonight, we stand as one. Godzilla returned to the ocean. Kong reclaimed hollow earth, and Don Tobal documented everything. Knowing history had just been rewritten. A new age had begun, an age where titans no longer fought for dominance, but for balance.